I live in the United States of America. In the history of the world, it's probably more saturated with churches than any other country ever has been. You'd think that with the millions of people that live here that claim to be Christians, that by this point, everybody in the United States would have heard the gospel, that they would have heard about Jesus, but that's not the case. One time on a flight, I sat next to a 19-year-old man and shared the gospel with him. He had never heard it before in his entire life. He didn't get saved that day, but I got to plant a seed. Another time at a gas station in Rockport, Texas, I shared the gospel with a 30-year-old man. He had never heard it before in his entire life. He didn't get saved that day, but again, I got to plant a seed. Another time I was at the beach in Corpus Christi, Texas, and shared the gospel with a woman in her 80s. She had never heard it before, and she actually did get saved. The reality is there are millions of people in the United States that have never heard the gospel. I've personally met hundreds of them. There are also tons of people that claim to be Christian that don't share the gospel, and they have a lot of excuses as to why they don't. The Bible is clear that everybody that says they're Christian has a responsibility to share the gospel with the lost, because if they don't hear the gospel from us, they will spend eternity in hell. If you say you're a Christian and you don't share the gospel with people, one day you're going to stand before God and He's going to ask you why you didn't tell people about His Son. Any excuse you can come up with, He will reject, and He will say there are people burning in hell right now because you didn't care enough to tell them the truth. And the Bible is clear that He will hold you accountable for that.